What's going on? Today we are investigating a hacked machine. In this hacked machine, we're giving only a backup file. So the backup file contains all of the information, all of the traffic that has been captured at the event of the machine getting hacked. So basically, we're required to find the root cause of the hack, why the machine has been hacked, starting from the backup file. And right after that, you're required to do recover the machine, to recover the machine that has been hacked. So you have to do or have to put yourself in the shoes of both the security analyst who analyzes the root cause of attacks and the penetration tester who just conducts a pen test to see how we can get access to the machine, of course, but this time not for the purpose of testing the machine, but for the purpose of recovering or regaining the access back. So this is the room called hacked. And as you can see, we have two tasks. The task one is the defensive one, where you will be analyzing the backup file, finding the root cause of the attack or the compromise. And task two, you are the pen tester, where you will be conducting the pen testing, but for the purpose of gaining access and recovering the machine, not for the purpose of revealing vulnerabilities. The machine is already vulnerable, and that's why it got hacked in the first place. So let's start first with the first task. We'll be analyzing the backup file and answer the questions in line with that. So the first one, or the first question is, the attacker is trying to log into a specific service. What service is this? So basically here, the questions are laid down in a way to build up the chain of events where or when the attack has happened. So by answering the questions, you will understand, you will paint a picture of how the attack has happened sequentially. But if you can just analyze it on your own without getting back to the questions, it is better. Okay, so this is the backup file. As you can see, we have a sequence of TCP protocols. We're going to go down to see FTP, HTTP, whatsoever. So if we see here, the first packet contains FTP protocol. So the connection from 115 to 147, and it is hello FTP word. So it's FTP packet, and as you can see here, if we go down, we can see sequence of FTP packets, and then we have request the user Jenny in this packet, and here entering the password. So we can get all of these details just by right-clicking on the first packet and follow the TCP stream. So as you can see, the attacker first has connected to the FTP server using the username Jenny, and the password is 6 ones. It was not successful, so they repeated the attempt with the username Jenny again, and the password is password 123, and the login was successful. So that's how the attacker first got the foothold on the target. They were able to guess the password for the FTP service. So the FTP server was compromised because of weak password use. So let's see what the attacker did after that. As you can see, the attacker performed let's go up. So here, as you can see, the brute force attempts, Daniel, but all of them were unsuccessful until they were welcomed with the successful attempts by specifying the correct password. Login successful. Let's go down. See, all of these are FTP packets. Now, we want to know what the attacker has done after they logged in. So as you can see, we have the login successful, and after the successful login, we see here, we want to follow the TCP stream, what happened after that. So as you can see, we have response, and let's click on, as you can see, request, pwd, retrieving the directory. Let's see the chain of comments that were performed on the server. So the attacker logged in. They performed pwd command to retrieve the current working directory. And then, as you can see, these are the ports. And here we have ls-la type I until we see shell. So they transferred a file called shell.php. Probably this is reverse shell. They give it permissions and finished. Okay. Now the attacker has finished from the FTP server. They now move their attack to the HTTP server. So as you can see on this packet, they navigated to /shell.php to trigger the shell. We follow the TCP stream. You see here get shell.php. Why? Because the attacker has just uploaded the shell right to the server, and they navigated to the server, to the shell to trigger it. So they received the reverse shell. Let's go down. And the rest of the communications are between the attacker and the victim after gaining the reverse shell. So let's click on sync. See here. So starting from here, as you can see, the attacker first gained the connection, issued to MI, ls-la, upgraded their shell, changed the password or not. They didn't change. Su Ginny password 123, su-l, sudo su, who am I, elevation of privilege. And here, after they elevated the privilege to root, as you can see, they downloaded called something like backdoor. Seems to be like a backdoor. So let's copy that and see what it is. Not opening. A second, maybe because I'm connecting to, no, okay. So reptile, give root to unprivileged users, hide files and directories, hide processes, hide hidden boot persistence. So this is a backdoor. Yes. Okay, so they downloaded a backdoor to the machine. Let's see here. cd reptile ls-la make. Okay, so here they were trying to install the backdoor. Yeah, and that was it. So that's the chain of events when the compromise happened. So first it was the FTP uploading reverse shell, triggering the reverse shell, and then installing a backdoor. So now we built a sequence of events behind the attack. Let's now answer the questions. So the attacker is trying to log into a specific service. What service it is? It was FTP. There is a very popular tool by Van Hooser which can be used to brute force a series of services. What is the name of this tool? Without looking at the pcap file, we cannot answer that with Hydra. The attacker is trying to log in with a specific username. What is the username? If you remember, it was Jenny. What is the user's password? Password 123. What is the current FTP working directory after the attacker logged in? So remember, we found the answer in the FTP. So let's filter for FTP. So follow the sequence of requests starting or after the login one, after the successful login. So this is the directory var html. The attacker uploaded a backdoor. What is the backdoor's file name? Shell.php. I know you might be confused between this and the reptile, but based on the context and the order of the questions, it is calling for the shell, not the reptile. Because the reptile after the compromise, the shell before the compromise. The backdoor can be downloaded from a specific URL as it is located inside the uploaded file. What is the full URL? Let's see here how they downloaded this. H4cked store shell. Let's check the TCP stream. So there is no display of the URL. I think you can download this, but obviously we don't know the content of this shell, so we have to find it somewhere here. Let me look at the questions again. So the backdoor can be downloaded from a specific URL as it is located inside the uploaded file. What is the full URL? So you're required to see the contents of the shell. So we can do that. Export objects. Oh, there's no FTP. So store shell, and here we have. Let's check this one. Okay, it is somewhere here. So here, as you can see, we have. Let's see this. Follow TCP stream. This is the content of the reverse shell, the shell of PHP. As you can see, it is asking for the pentest monkey URL, I guess. What is the full URL? Yes. All right. So here, as you can see, we can download this from here. It is asking for the URL. So let's try with this one. Okay. What command did the attacker manually execute after getting a reverse shell? It was pwd, if you remember. What is the computer's host name? Now then we need to get back to the packets showing the commands executed against the server. So we have to start from here. After triggering the reverse shell, no, not this one. So get shell and then sync, starting from the sync packet. So what is the computer's host name? Let's see here. So, okay. Oh, no. So the host name can be seen from here, as you can see. Data at WIR3. So WIR3. No? What command did the attacker manually execute after getting the reverse shell? Who am I? It was not. Who am I? Which command did the attacker execute to spawn a new TTY shell? You can take it from here. Come on. Which command was executed to gain a root shell? I think something happened to my machine. Okay. Sudo su. The attacker downloaded something from GitHub. What is the name of the GitHub project? Reptile. The project can be used to install a stealthy backdoor on the system. It can be very hard to detect. What is this type of backdoor called? The project can be, let's see here. Let's go to the project itself. Check out the type of backdoor. Warning, reference, usage, thanks, disclaimer. Wiki. Reptiles installation configuration. Building. All right, so it must be somewhere. Okay, I would assume if it is not written here, oh, it is rootkit. So in the about, as you can see, LKM Linux rootkit. The answer formula contains only one word, so I'm supposing it is rootkit. Okay, now it is done from the defensive part. You've done your job in analyzing the root cause of the compromise. Now you will be assigned the job of conducting a pen test to gain an access back to the machine. So for that, we will be required to start the machine and connect to it. Deploy the machine. The attacker has changed the user's password. Can you replicate the attacker's steps and read the flag? The flag is located in the root reptile directory. Remember, you can always look back at the backup if necessary. Good luck. Okay, so let's wait for the IP to pop up. Okay, now let's keep the Wireshark open and start scanning. So new tab, sudo nmap -sv-a. So nothing is up. Oh, no ports are running. How come? Seems like we have to change put-pn. Oh, I think I forgot to connect. So the OpenVPN. Okay, now in the new tab, cd hacked. Okay, sudo nmap -sv-a. Get it off. Okay, so we have how many ports? One, two, so two. One is 80 and other one is 21. So one way to help yourself getting access back to the machine is by replicating the attacker's steps. So the attacker's steps was or were to start from the FTP. So since the password has changed, we will have to do some brute force on the user Jenny. So we will use Hydra -L Jenny and the password list user share word list q FTP. Let's see here. So pretty quickly we found the password. Okay, log in. What's that? I guess we have to just exit FTP 10 10 142 1. Username is Jenny. Password is this. You're logged in. ls. So as you can see in the FTP directory, we have index and we have the shell. Okay, what do we do next? So as I said earlier, the attacker has used the shell.php to gain access or foothold to their machine. So we can use the same way. So we can just get this one. We can say get shell PHP. Okay, let's split the tabs. We can do it. We can open the shell and modify on it. So sudo nano shell. So we would change the IP and the port to point back to our information. So let's take this out, fconfig. This is the IP. Okay, the port, it could be 4545. Save that, start a listener, nc-ldp 4545, and here put shell. Okay, so we were able to overwrite the old shell, which is shell.php, with a new one that we have just modified. Just like the attacker, we will now navigate to the web server and trigger the shell, and we should receive the connection back. So hopefully. /shell php, and indeed we received the reverse shell. So let's open this back. So we can do next. Let's first upgrade the shell. Okay. ID, we are data, Sue, Jenny. Beforehand, you know the password. Password 123. Authentication failure. I think we need to use this password. because it has changed to Jenny. Okay, we are Jenny now. So coming back to the attacker's method, as you can see, they escalated to Jenny and then they escalated to root. So let's do the same. Sudo -l. So we can run everything, as you can see, without the, we can run everything, right, all, as all users. So sudo su root, id root. So we have rooted the machine, but that's not all. You're required to not only get access back, but you're required also to remove all of the artifacts left by the attacker. One of them is to remove the shell.php. So why? We want to remove the connection. So we actually already did cut the connection by pointing and changing the shell or the shell file. We already cut the connection from the attacker, but we want to remove the backdoor as well. So we are now in pwd, so /ls. Let's look for the reptile file where it is stored. The reptile backdoor. If we remove the reptile backdoor, we are done. Reptile. cd root, cd reptile. So this is the flag. And of course, if you want to remove the infection, remove all of these files. And of course, you have successfully recovered the machine, but realistically and in a real world scenario, you're not only required to remove the infection files, you're required to patch the server and remove any causes of the compromise. The cause here was weak password in the FTP server, so upgrading the passwords would do it. So let's see the flag txt. Okay. So that was it. See you in the next video.